She said, "You're not masculine enough. Real men don't cry." I replied, "I'll remember that." Then I cried to her mother about how her daughter had been stealing from my account. Her real man standards changed when her family saw the bank statements. Original post. I, 31 male, am sitting here staring at my laptop screen, still processing what just happened over the past month. My ex-girlfriend Jessica, 29, of 3 years, is currently blowing up my phone from numbers I haven't blocked yet, but I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 years together. Lived together for the last 18 months in a decent apartment downtown. Split rent 60-40, me paying more since I earned more as a data analyst. Everything seemed solid until about 4 months ago, when she started getting really into these relationship coaching videos on social media. You know the type. High-value men do this and never settle for less queens. The comments started small. "Why don't you go to the gym more? Trevor's boyfriend just bought her a new purse for no reason. You're too emotional sometimes." That last one stung. See, my dad passed away 2 years ago after a long battle with cancer. Sometimes I'd get emotional talking about him, especially around his birthday or holidays. Jessica used to be supportive, but that changed. The breaking point came 3 weeks ago. We were at dinner with her friends, and someone mentioned their dad. I shared a funny memory about mine, got a bit choked up at the end. Not sobbing, just, that moment where your voice catches. In the car afterward, Jessica went nuclear. "That was so embarrassing, Daniel. My friends probably think I'm dating a child." I was talking about my dead father, Jess. "Real men don't cry in public. You're not masculine enough. This is why Trevor's boyfriend got promoted and you didn't. He's an alpha. You're not." I sat there in silence the whole ride home. When we got to the apartment, I said 3 words. "I'll remember that." She took it as me agreeing to man up. She had no idea what was coming. See, what Jessica didn't know was that I'd noticed some weird charges on my credit card statements over the past few months. Nothing huge at first. $30 here, $50 there. I'd assumed it was subscription services I'd forgotten about. But after her little speech about real men, I decided to do some digging. I pulled 3 months of statements, found over $2,400 in charges I didn't recognize, mostly online shopping, food delivery when I was at work, and weirdly 3 separate charges to something called Divine Feminine Coaching Academy, $299 each. The thing is, Jessica had access to my card for emergencies and groceries. We'd set that up when she was between jobs last year. She'd gotten a new job 6 months ago, but the card access remained. My mistake for trusting her. I didn't confront her. Real men don't cry, right? They handle business. Update 1, the setup. First thing Monday morning, I called my bank, reported the unauthorized charges. They issued me a new card and started a fraud investigation. Then I went through everything, found more charges going back 8 months. Total damage, $6,847. She'd been smart about it, never huge amounts, spread across different categories. The bank said since I'd given her access initially, it complicated things, but the pattern and amounts suggested misuse. I screenshot everything. Every single charge. Then I remembered Jessica was very close with her mother Diane. Diane was actually lovely, a retired school principal who'd always been kind to me. She'd even pulled me aside at a family barbecue once to thank me for taking such good care of Jessica. Time to have a conversation with Diane. I called her Thursday morning, asked if we could meet for coffee, said it was important and about Jessica. She agreed immediately, probably thinking I was going to propose. We met at a quiet coffee shop. I brought a folder. "Diane, I need to show you something, and I need your advice." I laid out the bank statements, highlighted every unauthorized charge, showed her the total. Her face went from confused to shocked to furious. She stole from you? She had access for emergencies. This isn't emergencies. Then I told her about the Real Men Don't Cry incident, about how Jessica had been treating me since she got into those online coaching programs. And then, because I'm apparently not a real man, I started crying. Right there in the coffee shop. Months of frustration, grief over my dad, betrayal, it all came out. Diane handed me tissues. "Oh honey, I am so sorry. This is not how I raised her. I don't know what to do, Diane. I loved her. Still do. But I can't live like this. You leave this to me," she said, taking photos of the statements with her phone. And Daniel? Real men absolutely cry. My husband cried when each of our children was born. He cried when his mother died. He cried watching Marley and me. Don't let anyone tell you differently. That evening, Jessica came home in a rage. You went to my mother? Are you serious right now? You said real men don't cry. Figured I'd test that theory. This is so manipulative. You're trying to turn my family against me. I showed your mother bank statements, facts. If that turns her against you, maybe examine your actions. Her phone rang. Her dad, Robert. She answered on speaker. Jessica Marie, you get your butt to this house right now. Your mother showed me everything. We need to talk. Now. She left, glaring at me. This isn't over. You're right, I said. You still owe me $6,847. Update 2. The escalation. Jessica didn't come home that night, or the next one. Got a text from her saying she was staying with her parents until you stopped this psycho behavior. Psycho behavior was expecting my money back, apparently. Her mom, Diane, called me Saturday morning. Daniel, we had a long talk with Jessica. She admitted to the charges but says you were financially controlling and she needed her own money. She has a job, Diane, makes decent money. I know, we're not buying her excuse either. Robert and I want to make this right. We'll pay you back, but Jessica needs to learn a lesson. We're thinking of setting up a payment plan where she pays us back. I appreciate that, but I actually filed a fraud report with my bank. They need Jessica to admit the charges were unauthorized, or I have to pursue it legally. Silence. Then, give us until Monday, please. Sunday night, Jessica showed up with her dad. Robert's a big dude, works construction, but he looked disappointed, not threatening. Daniel, Robert started, I want to apologize for my daughter's behavior. This isn't who we raised her to be. Jessica stood there, arms crossed, pouting like a teenager. Jessica has something to say. Diane's voice came from behind them. She'd come too. This is ridiculous, Jessica muttered. Jessica Marie, her father's voice had that dad warning tone. Fine. I used your card without permission. I'll pay it back. All of it? I asked. This is extortion? It's called consequences, Robert said. You stole from this man, after he helped you when you were unemployed, after he's been nothing but good to you. Then the real Jessica came out. Good to me? He's weak. He cries all the time. He's not ambitious. Trevor's boyfriend just started his own business and Daniel's still at the same boring job. I needed that money for courses to improve myself since he won't. The Divine Feminine Coaching Academy charges suddenly made sense. So you stole money for courses about finding better men? I asked. It's not stealing when we're basically married. We're not married, and now we never will be. That's when she lost it. Full meltdown. Screaming about how I was a beta male, how no woman would want me, how she settled for me. Her parents looked horrified. Robert actually stepped between us. Jessica, get in the car, now. I'm not done. Yes, you are, Diane said. Daniel, we'll handle the bank situation. Send us what you need. As they dragged her out, Jessica screamed, You'll regret this. I'll tell everyone what a loser you are. Cool story, I called back. Tell them about the theft too. Update 3. The explosion. Jessica made good on her threat. By Monday, my social media was flooded with posts about me. She'd written this long Facebook rant about how I was emotionally manipulative, financially abusive, and weaponized toxic masculinity against her. The irony of that last one wasn't lost on me. Some highlights from her post. He tracked every penny I spent like a controlling psycho. He cried to my parents to manipulate them. He threatened me with legal action over a few small purchases. Ladies, this is what happens when you date down. The comments were mixed. Her squad of divine feminine friends were eating it up, calling me trash, saying she deserved better. But then something interesting happened. My ex-coworker Sophia, who's friends with both of us, commented, Jess, didn't you tell me last month you were using his card to buy stuff because he owes you for emotional labor? That's not a few small purchases. That's theft. The comment got deleted within minutes. But Sophia screenshot it and sent it to me. Then Trevor, yes, that Trevor whose boyfriend is apparently God's gift to testosterone, commented, Girl, you literally asked me how to hide credit card charges last month. Delete this. Screenshot, deleted, but not before about 20 people saw it. My phone rang. The bank. Mr. Harrison, we've completed our investigation. The charges have been confirmed as fraudulent. However, since you initially provided access, we can only recover charges from the last 60 days unless the other party admits to the unauthorized use. That would be about $1,900 of the $6,847. What if I have written admission? That would help significantly. I forwarded them the screenshots of Jessica's friends' comments and texts where she admitted to using the card without permission for personal purchases. Tuesday morning, Jessica called from a number I didn't recognize. "You need to stop this bank thing. My parents are threatening to cut me off. Then admit to the charges. I'll be blacklisted. It'll ruin my credit. Should have thought of that before stealing almost $7,000. It wasn't stealing. You're supposed to provide for me. That's what real men do." I thought real men don't cry? I'm confused about what kind of man you want me to be. Don't be smart with me, Daniel. Admit to the charges, Jessica, in writing, to the bank. If I do, will you tell my parents we're good? I'll tell them the truth, that you admitted to the charges and the bank is handling it. She hung up. Wednesday, got an email from the bank. Jessica had admitted to $5,400 in unauthorized charges. Not the full amount, but enough for them to process a recovery. They'd be pulling it from her account or sending to collections if she couldn't pay. Her dad, Robert, called an hour later. "Daniel, Jessica admitted to the charges. We're disgusted. We've given her 30 days to find her own place. She's 29 years old and acting like a spoiled teenager. I'm sorry it came to this, Robert." "Don't be. You opened our eyes. Did you know she hasn't been paying us rent like she claimed? Said she was giving it to you. We thought you two had combined finances. We hadn't. She'd been living rent-free and pocketing what her parents thought she was contributing." Update 4. The aftermath. It's been a week since Jessica admitted to the theft. The bank recovered $5,400 directly from her account, apparently draining it completely. She had to borrow money from her brother to cover her car payment. The social media war continued. She posted about being financially ruined by a vindictive ex and how the system protects abusive men. The comments weren't going her way anymore, though. Too many people had seen the deleted comments from her friends. Sophia actually made her own post. "Since someone wants to play victim publicly, let me share what I know." This person bragged about using their boyfriend's credit card to fund their self-improvement journey because he's too beta to notice. This same person said her boyfriend was weak for crying about his deceased father. This same person tried to get me to lie and say I saw him be controlling. I refused. Theft is theft. Emotional abuse is abuse. Period. 144 likes, 49 shares. Jessica blocked her. Then the real kicker came Thursday. Remember those Divine Feminine Coaching Academy charges? Turns out it was a MLM scheme. They'd convinced Jessica she could become a relationship coach herself if she just completed their $299 courses and recruited other queens. She'd blown almost $900 on a scam that told her she was too good for everyone while teaching her to find a high-value man to fund her lifestyle. Her mom, Diane, sent me screenshots of Jessica's text to her. "Jessica, this is all Daniel's fault. If he'd been more ambitious, I wouldn't have needed those courses. Those courses were a pyramid scheme, Jessica. You don't understand manifestation. I understand theft. You stole from someone who loved you. Love means providing. Love means respect. You showed none." Friday, Jessica sent one last manipulation attempt. A long email about how she was sorry things ended badly and how maybe we could work through this with counseling. Then the kicker. "I know you still love me. Real love doesn't die over money. If you drop this whole thing, we can start fresh." I responded, "A real woman doesn't steal from her partner. A real woman doesn't belittle someone for grieving their father. A real woman doesn't need pyramid scheme courses to tell her worth. We're done." She replied, "You'll never find anyone like me." That's the point. Blocked her email. Her brother Marcus reached out yesterday. Apparently, Jessica's been couch surfing because she can't afford a deposit on a new place. She'd tried to move in with one of her Divine Feminine friends, but they wanted $1,200 up front. "She's learning that high-value lifestyle costs money she doesn't have," Marcus said. "Mom and Dad are holding firm on the 30-day deadline. She actually asked me if I could loan her money because family supports each other. I reminded her that family doesn't steal from each other's boyfriends. The best part? Trevor's boyfriend, the supposed alpha male Jessica kept comparing me to? They broke up. Turns out he was cheating with 3 different women and had $45,000 in debt from his business that was actually just another MLM scheme. Trevor posted about it publicly. Jessica commented, "You deserve better, Queen." Trevor replied, "At least I didn't steal from him and get prosecuted for fraud. Worry about your own situation." Deleted within minutes. But the internet remembers. Final update. It's been a month since everything went down. Here's where everyone ended up. Jessica, living with a cousin 2 hours away, working 2 jobs to pay back her parents. They paid me the remaining $1,447 to make things right and are making her pay them back with interest. Deleted most of her social media after the fraud admission became public knowledge in our friend circle. Her parents sent me a final message apologizing again and thanking me for showing them who their daughter had become. Robert added, "For what it's worth, you're one of the good ones. Any woman would be lucky to have a man who can show real emotions and stand up for himself." The bank flagged her for fraud. Not sure if it'll affect her credit long term, but she can't get a credit card right now, according to Marcus. The Divine Feminine Coaching Academy? Under investigation for fraud after multiple complaints. Jessica lost her investment and can't even sell the courses to recoup losses because the website got shut down. As for me, I'm doing okay, still in my apartment, still at my boring, stable job that apparently makes me unambitious but pays all my bills and then some. Started therapy to deal with the emotional manipulation and, honestly, to continue processing my dad's death without shame. Had coffee with Sophia last week. She apologized for not warning me sooner about Jessica's behavior. We ended up talking for 3 hours. She mentioned her dad died when she was 25, and she still cries about it sometimes. Anyone who says crying makes you weak has never been strong enough to show vulnerability, she said. We're having dinner tomorrow, just as friends, maybe more eventually, but right now I'm just focused on being comfortable with who I am. Oh, and last week I cried watching a video about a kid surprising his dad after returning from deployment. Full-on ugly crying. And you know what? I didn't feel weak at all, because real men do cry. They just also know when to stand up for themselves and demand respect. Jessica was right about one thing, though. I did remember what she said about real men. I remembered it every time I stood my ground, every time I refused to be manipulated, and every time I chose self-respect over being her ATM. Funny how her definition of masculinity only included the parts that benefited her financially, but excluded the part where a man protects his assets and demands accountability. To anyone dealing with similar situations, document everything. Trust your gut. Don't let anyone make you feel less than for having emotions. And never, ever give someone access to your finances who doesn't respect you as a person. The money was recoverable. The self-respect I gained from standing up to her? Priceless. Edit. For those asking, yes, I changed all my passwords and did a full credit check. Found 2 credit cards she'd applied for using my information. Currently dealing with that, but the bank is helping since there's already a fraud case. The entitlement really knew no bounds.